Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Real Talk with Coach Sherri. I want to wish my dad a happy 82nd birthday. I know that he's watching. He is subscribed to my channel. And Dad, I just want to tell you happy birthday and that I love you and I am truly grateful to be your daughter. I know that people around the world are watching, so if you don't mind, leave a comment down below and wish my dad a happy birthday as well. He has been an amazing dad, a great provider. I never had a day of worry in my life with him as my father, and I so appreciate everything he has done for me, for our entire family. For our immediate family as well as our extended family, for the sacrifices that he made, for his vision, for him having a goal and to dare to dream bigger, to be a business owner so that he would never have a ceiling, that his opportunities would expand. And he truly lived the dream where he always wanted to own his own business, wanted to be that person that paid people that were doing their work, and he was able to be very successful at it. And he was one of those that was able to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He recognized the importance of vacationing and also had the opportunity to retire at a relatively young age and still enjoy life after having worked so hard. You guys, with today being his birthday, 2 days after Mother's Day, in the industry that my parents had their business in, it was always a busy time of the year. Oh my goodness. Mother's Day was the busiest holiday of the year for my family's business. Remember, my parents owned and operated 2 flower shops in New Jersey, and everyone has a mother or someone who's like a mother. And I don't know how it is today, but back in the day, people loved to send flowers to their mothers. You know that saying, give me my flowers while I'm still alive. And people really adhered to that, especially where we were. Oh my goodness. One tradition that I really miss seeing, because I don't see it anymore, is for Mother's Day, people used to always wear corsages. The women would wear corsages. And sometimes the men would wear boutonnieres as well, but the flowers represented their mothers. They would get a white corsage if their mother was still alive, and a red corsage a white corsage if their mother had passed away, and a red corsage if their mother was still alive. And with the white corsages, they would either get white roses, carnations, or the white orchids, beautiful white orchids. If they had the red flower, it'd be a red carnation or red roses. And so leading up to Mother's Day, I remember making hundreds of bows, red bows, white bows, and even some pink bows, and a little bit of yellow as well, but mostly red and white bows so that we could use them for the corsages. And the women would wear those corsages to church. And this is when we used to dress up for church. Remember back in the day, there were no pants. You didn't wear pants to church. You came as you were, but you really didn't. You really dressed up and, made a better effort. You'd have your Sunday clothes, your Sunday dress, your Sunday shoes. And, so everyone would dress up and wear their corsages. And that was a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful token. I don't think that that's still the tradition for today. I wish it was, but leave a comment down below if that's something that you experienced growing up, going to church on Mother's Day and seeing the women, especially the women, wearing their corsages representing their mothers. That was beautiful. But I didn't go to church that often on Mother's Day because, like I said, that was a very busy holiday for the floral business. So typically I was working alongside with the rest of my family as well as friends, because we would recruit our friends to help out during the holidays. It was a great opportunity for them to make extra money. And plus, we needed all hands on deck because the deliveries increased. We would have to rent extra vans, even use some people's cars to make take the deliveries, we would have way more customers coming in because they're coming from out of town and they want to bring a bouquet of flowers for their mother. A lot more phone calls with people from all over the world calling in to place an order for their mothers who lived locally, or even for mothers that lived other places that they wanted flowers to be sent, because we were also affiliated with wire services like FTD, Telefloral, and AFS. And the great thing about those wire services is, in addition to flowers, they would also have novelty containers that the mothers could keep after the flowers died. It could be a beautiful crystal vase, or a ceramic or porcelain teapot, or some type of bowl, some type of dish, a teacup and saucer, just different things that they can select from, so it would be a keepsake for their mothers afterwards. So with my father's birthday being 2 days after Mother's Day this year, I could only imagine how things would have been from back in the day, with coming off of Mother's Day. So typically for his birthday, we'd go out for dinner, because we'd all still be recovering from Mother's Day, because even after Mother's Day, it's not like we closed on that Monday. We still had to open the shops, and, the beat still went on, because some people either preferred to get their, well, they didn't really always prefer it, but sometimes they had to get their deliveries, unfortunately, delivered on that Monday because maybe they weren't home or something like that. Just different things, but the beat still went on. For Mother's Day, my mother sometimes would still come into work on that Sunday, but we always would go out to eat for Mother's Day. It would be a whole bunch of us, my brothers and myself, my parents. It was a good time. It was a good time. And people really were very helpful and thoughtful during that time. My father's sister, my Aunt Ruth, she didn't feel comfortable necessarily working in the shop. So she did what she could and did it well, which was cook. So in addition to being so busy, the other thing that would happen is we didn't have time to go out to eat. A lot of times we didn't have time to eat. But what my Aunt Ruth would do, she lived in Long Island. She would cook food and bring it in, a ton of food: fried chicken, potato salad, green beans, tossed salad, homemade cake, just a lot of food that we can eat on throughout the weekend. And it was so appreciated, because if we didn't have that food that was so nutritious and delicious, then we would get things like pizza, and even though, we would just get pizza. But we appreciated her for bringing us food that meant so much to us. And I just really wanted to come out here just to reminisce and talk about my experience, growing up around this time of the year, every year of my life, with it being Mother's Day and my father's birthday all mingled up together. But today is my father's special day. He is 82 years old. And every year I always would ask, Dad, how old do you feel this year? For a long time, he would say 50. But this year he told me, even before I could ask him, he said, I feel 80 years old, and he's 82. So he's still feeling like a young man. I'm just glad that he's still here and is doing great works in his community. He does a lot of good for the people in his community. He stays very busy. He and his sister, my Aunt Ruth, have decided to do something good for, every day. Give back. Do some type of community service, community works. And, my father does things like take people to their chemotherapy, take people plates of food that are sick and shut in, that aren't able to get out. He sends books that people can read and get a very inspirational word from. He prays for everyone, and he just does a lot of good. The life that he's living is definitely speaking for him, and he's always been very generous to everyone that he knows. He gives great advice, especially in business, and so a lot of people, especially young people, love to come and talk to him about business and opportunities and real estate, and he's just a wealth of information, a great resource, and I'm just happy to call him my dad. So, it's a blessing to have a parent, especially parents, plural, with him and my mom. You know, in my life, I was very fortunate. And so I'm just here to say thank you, Dad, for all that you do, for all that you've done, all the sacrifices you made, for dreaming so big and following your dream to be a business owner, to be able to pay people and be able to not have that ceiling, to show me the value of not having a ceiling so that your potential continuously grows. And I really appreciate that example. So thank you. All right, everyone. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you feel like someone else needs to hear this, please be sure to share. If you're already not part of the team, I would love to have you. So I invite you to subscribe. If you're subscribed, thank you so much for rocking with me. I appreciate you. And until we speak again, please, people, everyone out there, be sure to stay safe and stay healthy. And remember, this has been Real Talk with Coach Sherri.